What's up, guys? Just a guy on my lunch break back with you. About to have another war with these yellow jackets. I'm actually kind of excited. You know, it's interesting because as a drug addicted person, you know, we tend to have this sort of dopamine chasing, excitement chasing, adrenaline chasing sort of behavior that is synonymous with someone who is a drug addict, just to be completely honest. Before the drugs, there was other risky behavior. You know, I can remember being a young man as soon as I turned 18, bungee jumping. And that, you know, I would never do anything like that now, partly because I have a family and I value my life. But, you know, I climbed to the top of Pilot Mountain one time. There have been numerous people, and I'm not talking about climbed up the mountain. A lot of you probably won't know what I'm talking about, but I'll leave a link in the description down below of the rock, of the pinnacle that sits on top of Pilot Mountain. You know, and this rock probably stands 150 feet high, and it's probably at least the same wide, and its circumference takes you several minutes to walk around it. It was a clump of rocks, you know, together, but it's quite high, and to the point where there's a whole nother ecosystem on top of it. There's full-grown trees and, you know, plants and everything else on top of it. And by that point, when you get on top of it, you know, you're face to face with eagles soaring all around you. That's how high you are. And you know, myself and a buddy of mine back in my 20s climbed that one time. It's illegal to climb it because there have been multiple people to fall, die, and or get paralyzed, one of the two, in the past. And there's been people to do that while rock climbing with professional gear, and we did it with nothing, just our bare hands. So I look back at stuff like that and kind of the thrill-seeking, adrenaline-seeking behavior. Riding a motorcycle back in the day, I got a ticket on it going 127 miles per hour down the freeway. What does this have to do with drug addiction, you asked? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it has everything to do with drug addicted, adrenaline seeking, dopamine chasing type behaviors, all the way down to sexual promiscuity. Did quite a bit of that as a man growing up too. You know, the list just goes on and on. But anyway, back to my original, you know, I posted a short video on here one time, several months back, where I was walking my dogs, and my German Shepherd apparently stepped in a yellow jacket's nest. Well, you know, when you directly disturb their nest like that, they come straight after your ass. So initially, I saw her, my dog, like kind of jerking, like, you know, I knew something was wrong immediately. And no sooner than I noticed her behavior change, I felt a sting on my hand. I look on my hand, and they're on my hand, and they're on the leash, and they're on the dogs. And then I get the dogs and I pull them, and we start running back to the house. And my wife happened to be standing outside with my son. I'm like, go inside, get in the room, because the bees were literally all over myself and the dogs. And by this point, by the time I got back to my front door, I'd already been stung probably 3 to 4 times. I had a couple on my back where I felt I had got stung. I got stung on my hand, felt one down around my ankle. You know, just getting stung multiple times. Fortunately, I'm not allergic to bees or anything. In fact, I got stung quite a bit when I was a kid, because my brother and I used to we were the type of kids to always be out in the woods, you know, getting into things. But my wife, I know, is actually allergic to bees, to bee stings. And, you know, my son at the time, you know, he's 15 months old, so I wanted to make sure that he didn't get stung. So I tell them to get inside. And then I posted a video about this, and I killed, I think it was a total of 23 or 24 yellow jackets inside my house. I was finding them in the lights. I was finding them on the ceiling. I was finding them in random places, like on top of the door seals. It took me an hour and a half. I was just casing the house, just looking for them. And I would take up room and smack them and swat them down. And when they'd fall down, I'd step on them. You know, I killed 20-something bees that way. We were outside today with my son, and I noticed where their nest was. And we saw them going in and out, in and out, in and out. And I was like, oh, hell. Here we go, baby. And so I went out to the garage, and we had this big thing of wasp, hornet, and yellow jacket killer in there. And I've already gone out there and sprayed the shit out of two different places where they obviously have a nest where we see them coming out of. And I'm out of that one, and I'm still seeing them. Although it takes like 24 hours or something for it's supposed to be one of those things where you spray it in there and you spray the nest, and then even if they come back to the nest, even if you don't spray them directly, if they come back to the nest within that following 24 hours, then it'll kill them. So I'm coming back up to the dollar store to get some more bee killer. So you know, when you stop using kratom and you don't really have that excitement anymore, gotta get it somewhere, baby. Let's go. Pray for me that I survive this Sunday, because I'm going to war with some bees. That's how I roll. Bee killer right here, y'all. Hope y'all have a good day. See ya.